Good evening. My name is Brittany Buck, and I did my research project on the Ethiopian Regiment. Now, this regiment came into existence in Virginia, Norfolk. The Earl of Dunmore actually released a proclamation that invited enslaved people, enslaved men specifically, from rebel or patriot plantations to join the fight on the British side. In response, thousands of men, women, and children fled with the threat of execution or being shipped over to the West Indies, which Donald Guerra really explains very well in his article, Loyal Subjects of the Crown, the Queen's Own Loyal Virginia Regiment, and Dunmore's Ethiopian Regiment. He does a really good job at explaining how or what this looked like and how this really impacted the southern plantations and um, just the weight of disruption of having all these slaves running away. And so thousands of slaves are running away and obviously facing some pretty serious odds, especially if they are to be captured. What is also interesting, Richard Dunn wrote a book called Sugar and Slaves, and here he really detailed very well what it was like to be a slave in the West Indies. It was essentially a death sentence because the conditions and treatment, as well as the spread of disease, was so bad in the West Indies that the life expectancy of a slave was significantly shorter of that than that of a slave in the colonies. And so, of these men, women, and children who actually made it to Lord Dunmore's camp, he created a 300-man regiment that he called the Ethiopian Regiment. Now, that is not to say that all of these men were from Ethiopia. It was more of a blanket title. And so, with this Ethiopian regiment, although they had a very short um, kind of life expectancy in terms of the regiment itself, which only lasted about a year, they fought at the skirmish of Kemp's Landing and secured that territory for the British. They used that as a trading port for lumber and tobacco, so it was a very important location for them. And they did a beautiful job at routing the Patriots from that point and securing Kemp's Landing and keeping it in British possession. So as I went through this research, my big key was to find out what happened to these men after the regiment disbanded. And I found two men who were, to me, very noteworthy and really particularly interesting. One of those men was Henry Washington. He was actually an enslaved man belonging to George Washington, who had escaped while Washington was away fighting and joined the Ethiopian regiment. He fought until it disbanded and afterward relocated to Nova Scotia to go on and live a normal life. The other was Mr. Boston King, another runaway slave who had joined the Ethiopian regiment. He fought with them until they were disbanded, and after they disbanded, he actually went up north, made his way back to Sierra Leone, and there he published his autobiography, which is on one of only three black loyalist autobiographies that are still in existence. So at the conclusion of this, I find that although, again, the lifespan of this regiment was very short, these black soldiers came out and really fought well as a unit. Although they did not all rejoin different regiments, they all did gain their freedom or die in battle. And so, in that regard, the promise was kept of their freedom. And additionally, I would say with the unexpected men that I did find. I did not, because of the short lifespan of the regiment, expect to find many specific details about people, but I did come across quite a few autobiographies and really good primary sources in terms of firsthand encounters and experiences as black soldiers, either in the Ethiopian regiment or as black loyalists during the Revolutionary War. Thanks for watching.